All right, so let's look at an example of the projectile motion formula in action. It's about a kid that hit a baseball. So this one says Salvador hits a baseball at a height of 3 feet with an initial upward velocity of 88 feet per second. First step is to let x represent the time in seconds after the ball is hit, and let y represent the height. Write an equation that gives height as a function of time. Use -32 for the gravitational constant. We will not use that. We'll use -16 like we talked about. So here what we're going to do is try to figure out what pieces we need. So there's 3 things that are missing: A, V sub 0, and H sub 0. A is that constant that depends on whether we're using feet or meters. And in this instance, because we are using feet, we're going to use -16. So y equals -16x squared. Then we have v sub 0, which is initial velocity. And it says Salvador hits the baseball with a height of 3 feet, at a height of 3 feet. And then with an initial upward velocity of 88 feet per second. So the velocity is 88 and h sub 0 is 3. So we're going to go plus 88x plus 3. So there is our equation. The next thing it says, write an equation to find when the ball is 24 feet above the ground. So 24 feet is a measure of height. Height is y. If you look back, it says that x is time and y is the height of the ball. X represents time, y represents the height of the ball. So what we're going to do is replace our y with 24. So 24 equals -16x squared plus 88x plus 3. Then step 3 says rewrite that equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Use the QF is for quadratic formula to solve. And then they want to know what's the real world meaning of your solutions and why are there 2. So like I mentioned, we have to have it equal to 0 in order to use the quadratic formula. So we just subtract 24 on both sides. So the formula we'll use is 0 equals -16x squared plus 88x plus, just kidding, minus 21. 3 minus 24 is -21. So now we establish A, B, and C. A is -16, B is 88, C is -21. And let's plug it in the quadratic formula. X is equal to opposite B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC, all over 2 times A. Now I'm going to type this big ugly thing in the graphing calculator. So we've got 88 squared minus 4 times A times C. Hit enter. So the square root of all that garbage is 80. So we have x equals -88 plus or minus 80 over -32. So we have 2 potential solutions here. The first is x equals -88 plus 80 over -32, or x equals -88 minus 80 over -32. -88 plus 80 divided by -32 is 0.25, and then -88 minus 80 divided by -32 is 5 1/4. So this is 0.25. This is 5 1/4. So what this means, again, x talks about time. X represents time. This means the ball will be 24 feet up or 24 feet high at 1/4 of a second. and 5 1/4 seconds. It has two solutions because it both rises and falls. So when he hits the ball, it goes up. If this is 24 feet right here, it's going to go up and hit. Then it's going to fall back down and it's going to hit again. So those are the two times that it reaches 24 feet. The next question says, write an equation to find the time when the ball reaches a height of 124 feet. So we're going to go 124 equals negative 16x squared plus 88x plus 3. And then they want us to solve this one as well. So we're going to subtract 124. And we will have negative 16x squared plus 88x minus 121. And when we put in, I'm just going to put in the discriminant and make sure there's a solution, because 124 feet high is pretty high for a baseball. So I'm going to put that discriminant in and go x is equal to opposite b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So let's see what happens here. 88 squared minus 4 times a times c is 0. Okay, so this becomes negative 88 plus or minus 0 over negative 32, which is really 2.75. Now there's only one solution, so what that means is that's the peak, that's the highest the ball goes. The highest the ball goes is 124 feet after 2.75 seconds. And then the last question, write an equation to find the time when the ball reaches a height of 200 feet. Don't even bother. Don't write the equation. We just said that the highest the ball will go is 124 feet. So if we know that's the highest it's going to go, we know it's not going to reach 200 feet. So we can just say this is unnecessary. It won't reach 200 feet. I'm having a brain fart, and I think there's only one N in unnecessary. It just doesn't look right. I'm a math teacher, not a spelling teacher. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. So unnecessary because it won't reach 200 feet. Our discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac, would be negative. And then our homework is choose 4 on the front. Don't do the back. Just choose 4 on the front of the 7.4 worksheet.